I want to make sure that not only that it tastes pleasant, it looks pleasant, and it's also pleasant to eat, so that I don't need a knife, fork, and a spoon to eat this. I should just have hopefully just a small spoon. So I didn't know a lot of Indigenous chefs. I didn't even know a lot of Indigenous people because we grew up downtown Toronto. You see, my mom left the reserve, came to Toronto, had her family here. So, and when I grew up, I guess my inspiration was my mom. I took traditional French cuisine at George Brown in '77, so I knew how to cook. And then I got involved with our community, our Indigenous community, and so I decided to marry the two. People asked me, can you cater for me? So what I ended up doing was catering, and from that point I formed an Indigenous catering company, and it just kind of grew from there. I've traveled all across Canada, United States. I've done I've done some stints in Europe. I was at the Tower Thistle Hotel doing Indigenous foods there. I was in Berlin doing some stuff there, in the islands and Jamaica, Northwest Territories. In '94, I developed a program at George Brown College that we were teaching. So that was bringing it sort of to teach kids, Indigenous kids as well. And then in '99, I started a TV show. So all of those things sort of compiled with meeting all kinds of other cooks and chefs across the country. Now it seems to be a bigger movement, and it's nice to see the younger people doing Indigenous food. It's not just food, but it's gathering, it's laughing, it's having fun and enjoying the process. And if that's what people are taking away from what I teach, I think that's a great thing. There's a lot of fun in doing food. There's a lot of fun in sort of what I call fusing. So fusing techniques. So maybe something like a pulled pork is done, and maybe we could do a pulled pork with lamb, or maybe we could do it with caribou. So we can take a technique, and international style technique, and use it in Indigenous products. In '92, I said to myself, I thought this was a new thing. And I was talking to an elder who said, oh, I've been doing this for 50 years too. So it's something that's been passed down, and then what we do is we add our own flavors to it. So I'll go to an Indigenous community and I'll help them. Maybe they have a restaurant, or they have a place that it's a coffee shop or something like that, and develop a training program, develop an Indigenous menu, and even develop what I call Indigenous tourism. When I first started training, they're asking me, is this okay? And then all of a sudden they say, here's what I've done. I decided to do this, and it's great. And so at first I'm sort of layering things on top of them and letting them take the lead, take over, and developing things. And the next thing you know, I'm standing behind and lifting them up. And it's a great thing to leave and then come back 6 months, 8 months later, and to see, that it's metamorphosed into their style of what they're doing, right? Because every chef in every kitchen does that. In my kitchen, these are the recipes that I have when I worked at a hotel, but I still put my slant and my vision on it. So it's nice to sort of plant the seed and help it grow, and then step back and watch it grow. It's no different than what our culture is about. I remember one elder saying, I'm sharing this with you, not to keep. You don't write it down and hide in a book. I'm sharing it to you because it was shared with me, and now it's your job to share it. So I think it's one of the great things about, one, being a chef in the business I'm in, and two, being an Indigenous chef, of sharing what has been passed to me.